Good evening everybody, and welcome back to another video. Now it's been about a week and a half since the last time I recorded a video, so I've got a few films to go through that I've seen from my unwatched pile, but I've also got something else that might be quite interesting to you guys as well. For those people that already know about this, you know, you can skip this part of the video if you like. That's absolutely fine. I've got no problems with that whatsoever. But I came across about 2 or 3 days ago the latest edition of the Empire magazine has been taken over by Steven Spielberg, and it comes with 5 different cover arts, which they all look really cool, and the actual colours that they've actually that they've chosen to complement the movies that have the movie covers for the actual magazine look really cool. So we'll get started with this one. So the first one I've got is the Jaws magazine, which is really cool, which I think is awesome with this with the blue against the silver and the black there. I think that looks really cool. So that's issue, that was cover number 1. The next one is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Again, I think it complements everything so well again. So that's the Raiders of the Lost Ark one. Next we have the probably one of Spielberg's best films, probably up there in my top 3 of his films anyway, and that is E.T. Yeah, again, those sort of colours look so good against the they look so good against the silver and the black. The next one is the Saving Private Ryan one. There we go. And the last one is the new up and coming movie that he's done, which is coming out at some point in the next couple of months, I think, and that is Ready Player One, which I'm actually really looking forward to be honest with you. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it so far, so I hope it doesn't disappoint. I've not seen any trailers or anything for it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So now I'm going to go on to the movies that I've been watching out of the unwatched pile. These a couple of these I watched with my mum when I was over visiting them last week. So yeah, the first one I'm going to talk about is the movie Midnight Special with Michael Shannon and Kirsten Dunst and Joel Edgerton. This was a really interesting movie, guys. I actually I was quite surprised by it, but it seemed to be 2 different types of films here. It was a bit of a drama film for like the first half, and then it sort of turned into a science fiction. It turned into a science fiction film, and especially with the spectacle that it gave us at the end of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought it was quite a good film, but it's not the sort of film that I could watch over and over again. Some really good. I'm saying good performances. I thought they were actually quite mediocre performances, especially from Michael Shannon, because even though it tends to play the sort of oddball characters, apart from General Zod in Man of Steel, I thought he was great. I thought he was absolutely fantastic as Zod in Man of Steel. But the other characters that he's kind of played have been sort of like odd have been kind of odd. But other than that, I don't really have any gripes about it, to be honest, apart from the fact that I just think like it tends to become a different film from the midpoint to the end. It's almost as if they've spliced two movies into one, whereas by today's standards there's usually an act 1, an act 2 and an act 3, but this film tends to have just an act 1 and an act 2, But yeah, it was an interesting film. So if anybody's seen it, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. That'll be really, it'll be really cool to see what you guys thought of it. And the next one I've got for you, which is another one that I watched with my mum, was the movie The Revenant with Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio. I thought this was actually a really cool film. Actually, I went into it not expecting an awful lot from it, but I do know that. I do know. I think Leo actually, I think really deserved his Oscar for it. I thought he was absolutely amazing in it. Yeah, I thought he was really cool in it. But I actually thought that in some places, I thought that some of the scenes I thought dragged out a little bit too much. I didn't think they needed to be. I didn't think they needed to be drawn out as much as they were. But other than that, again, like with. I thought everybody was on top form here, especially Tom Hardy. He's pretty much a chameleon in the acting world at the moment. He tends to take on many different parts and really and does really well to portray his characters to the best that they can actually be, especially when he was in Warrior. I thought that was an absolute I thought that was a spectacular film. That's another film that you should really look out for if you haven't seen that. Is Warrior with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton. But yeah, The Revenant I thought was really interesting as a true story about the explorer. Of the explorer Hugh Glass. I should say. I should have looked at that before I went into this. But yeah, that's The Revenant, guys. The next one I've got is a film that I watched a couple of days ago. And again, like The Revenant, I went into it not expecting an awful lot from it. I got a lot of people raved about this film, and I'm actually quite glad that I went into it with quite a positive mind, because I thought it was brilliant. Again, as everybody else has said, I completely agree. It's a great film, and that is Nightcrawler. Now, I've had this for actually quite some time. I haven't really gotten round to I didn't really get round to watching it, like I said, until a couple of nights ago. But I thought it was absolutely excellent. I mean, I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was good in Southpaw, that I mentioned in some previous videos. But honestly, I actually thought he was better, so much better in Nightcrawler than he was in Southpaw. I'm surprised he didn't actually get nominated for some kind of award for this. It was a great. I thought the story was great. Even the actors from Rene Russo, as well as I think Rene Russo was the only name that I recognised in this. I beg your pardon. The late great Bill Paxton is also in this. I do apologise for that. Really good film, and a very interesting look into the world of freelance media, into the world of the paparazzi. So yeah, that's Nightcrawler, guys. So the next ones I've got for you, I went on a bit of a movie binge on one of the days that I couldn't be bothered doing anything. So the first one I watched out of this, I've got this in order of what I watched them, was the first one was the movie Grimsby with Sacha Baron Cohen and Mark Strong. What can I say about Grimsby? I mean, really, it's a lot of fun, but it's as you come to expect from a Sacha Baron Cohen film. It doesn't come it's not as controversial as some of the other movies that it's done, such as such as Borat and The Dictator, but it is actually a lot of fun. The only reason why I actually brought myself to watch this or to even buy it was the fact that Mark Strong is in it, because I don't really have an awful lot of time for Saka as a person or an actor, to be honest, but I actually quite enjoyed him in this, regardless of some of the very close to the belt scenes that are in it. But if anybody hasn't seen it, I probably wouldn't advise it to people that that don't like cringe-worthy scenes, because there's a couple of scenes in here that you will be very kind of upset about. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. So that's Grimsby. It's like the new take on the Brothers Grimm, whatever, you know, from what I can make out anyway. But it's a really cool spy thriller, that. And the next one I've got for you is another Tom Hardy film where he actually plays two people, and that is Legend, the story of the notorious Cray twins from the 1960s. For those people who don't know who the Cray twins are, they're real life brothers that were club owners and gangsters in the mid to late 60s. Now, both of them did actually spend, it was Reggie Cray spent a couple of years in prison, and Ronnie Cray was a schizophrenic, homophobic schizophrenic. Yeah, so. No, he wasn't a homophobic schizophrenic. He was a schizophrenic. He was a homosexual schizophrenic. Sorry. It was. It's a really cool film, and Tom actually did really well in portraying both brothers from the two different personalities that they had. That's why I'm saying it tends to come off as a bit of a chameleon when it comes to his acting abilities, and I actually thought he was really good in it. There was a couple of scenes in this, however, where the CGI looked really, really bad. Like the splicing. There was one particular scene, it was like a quick fire, it was a very quick fire shot, but you could tell that it was an absolute bodge. It really was an absolute bodge. It looked bloody awful when I actually when I caught that actual moment. And you might know which part I'm on about. If to anyone who has got a good eye in that department will know which part I'm talking about. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything other than that that's bad to say about the film. It really lives up to what it was, and also lives up to the Cray twins as well. I'm sure the twins themselves would be very proud of what Tom did in this film. So yeah, that's Legend, guys. The next one I watched was the movie Sicario with Benicio del Toro, Emily Blunt and Josh Brolin. Again, another film that came with very rave reviews from a lot of people out there in the DVD and Blu-ray community, like the likes of Wet Movie One and Talk Movies With Us and Cool Duder and that, and also Chris Stuckman. I've got to have to throw that one in, Chris. I loved your review on this. I thought it was awesome, and Flickpick as well. I thought you were awesome. You are awesome as well. So yeah, Sicario I thought was a really cool film. It was probably one of the grittiest thrillers I've seen so far, and again with some really good performances in this, especially from Josh Brolin. I've always liked the movies he's been in since he came out as an adult, from the likes of Let me think. Oh, W, and I even like Jonah Hex. You can give me grief for that one if you like. I really don't care. I thought that was a great film, and Benicio del Toro needs no introduction whatsoever. He's just absolutely top notch in everything he does. I can't stop thinking about his performance as the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy. He absolutely cracked me up in that. Such a good actor, it really is. But yeah, Sicario. If no one's caught on to this movie yet, check it out. It's a really cool film. So yeah, that's Sicario. The next one I watched on my movie day was Live, Die, Repeat with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt once again. This is a film that I could watch again and again and again. I thought it was awesome. The concept of this is kind of like a sci-fi version of Groundhog Day, and yeah, like I say, Live, Die, Repeat. You could go on to repeat watchings of this. Like I said just then, I loved it. I thought it was excellent. Again, it came with a lot of rave reviews as well. I'd just like to make a point out of this that all of the films that I've got have either been Oscar winners or have either been Oscar winners. I mean, I have got a couple of films in my collection that people will think, why have you got that? But yeah, I don't base everything I watch on what has been Oscar winners or what from people have raved about. It's just stuff that I'm interested in. A lot of there's a lot of stuff back there that I can watch again and again and again. But there comes a point where when you've watched it so many times, you get bored with it. So I tend to sort of like go off from what my mood is, as everybody does, But I've got to say, some of my real guilty pleasures are in there. But yeah, like I say, getting back to this, I really enjoyed Live, Die, Repeat. It is, like I say, a film I could watch again and again. Tom Cruise I thought was excellent in this. I'm not really that fond of an awful lot of his films he's been in, because they're too Tom Cruisey. Because he just tends to play like the same character all the time. It doesn't matter what his position is in the film, whether he's a colonel or a private or whatever. He's always the same person in everything he does. So yeah, watching this was a real treat, because I thought the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt was great. Don't want to talk too much about the story, because it'll just give the whole concept of the story. It'll just give the whole thing away. So yeah. All I will say, it's a War of the Worlds type. It's a War of the Worlds film. That's like that. So I'll just keep it at that. The next one I've got for you guys is Christopher Nolan's Memento with Guy Pearce, which is another one that really took me by surprise. The way this film was actually shot, the way this film was actually edited, I thought was absolute genius. I've never seen a film like this before, and I probably won't ever see another film like it again. It kind of reminded me of the way that Citizen Kane was filmed, in a way. Very interesting film. Really well cast as well. I thought Guy Pearce, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Joe Pantoliano were both great. And there was a couple of other support actors in it that I did recognise, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. So yes, for anyone who's a Chris Nolan fan that hasn't seen Memento, I really do recommend this. I really do recommend it to you. It comes with quite a lot of special features on this. It comes with, it actually comes with a director's commentary. Goodness me. I'll be checking that out because I don't think I've actually got any of Chris Nolan's film with a director's commentary, so that'll be really interesting. It comes with interviews with Chris Nolan, Guy Pearce, and all of the usual stuff like trailers and concept arts, poster arts, there's a props gallery as well. Yeah, aye, and there's also something called Anatomy of a Scene, which I'm guessing will be the story behind why it was filmed why it was edited the way that it was. But so yeah, those special features I'm really surprised by. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking those out. The next film I've got for you guys is Steven Spielberg's Bridge of Spies, which I thought was it was a good film. But it's not the sort of film I could watch again, unfortunately. I do like Steven Spielberg's films, I always have, so I will be keeping hold of it. But it's just one of those films I could only watch every now and again. I like the fact that it is based on a true story, and watching some of the special features on it after I watched it was very, very interesting. There's interviews with all of the actors and the production team, even with Steven Spielberg, about the actual events that happened that made this film possible, and some really cool and a really cool revelation actually in this. So you should check if you've got this and not seen the special features. I would definitely check them out, because there's a little revelation in this that really will surprise you. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was a good film, but like I say, it's something that I couldn't really watch again in the near future. But I probably will watch it again at some point if my mood is in the right place. So yeah, and the next film I've got is actually one that I watched this morning. I did actually have intentions on watching quite a few today. I wanted to do a film day, but by the time I'd finished watching this, that idea had just gone completely out the window. And this morning's watch was Frank Miller's Sin City with Bruce Willis and an absolute horde of other really well-known actors in this, including Clive Owen, Benicio del Toro, oh goodness me, Jessica Alba, Mickey Rourke, Brittany Murphy, and Elijah Wood. There's a ton of other actors in there. There's a ton of other well-known actors in this. It's absolutely filled with great actors. It's taken me this long to watch it. I've had it for such a long time, and I've never got round to watching it. But I thought it was an absolutely stunning film. I loved the way that they actually made it look like a cartoon in the black and white, and then have the odd splashes of colour in it. It really. I think like Live, Die, Repeat, I could watch that again, but I only watched the theatrical cut from that film. So I've got the recut extended version as well. The recut and extended versions included in this as well. So I'm looking forward to checking those out to see how different they are from the theatrical version. But yeah, really cool movie. Like I say, the cinematography is just absolutely fantastic. It looks just like a comic book for those who haven't seen it. But yeah, that's Sin City, guys. So thank you for tuning in, guys. I hope the music in the background wasn't too loud, and if you are watching this, it means that YouTube has allowed this video to go up. I've needed that little bit of background music because I've really been struggling with stage fright while I've been doing these videos. It takes me so long to get these done because of this problem that I'm having. So yeah, I really appreciate your patience with this. So again, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you did like the video, hit the like button. You can subscribe if you like. You can also make a comment in the comment section. That'll be great on anything that I've spoken about tonight. So I'm going to do my pleasantries, guys, and I'll see you later. Good night.